Hello there. What is going on, everyone? The Star Wars Clone Wars edition of the Star Wars deck building game has been officially announced now by Fantasy Flight Games. Fans of the Star Wars deck building game, rejoice. Your Clone Wars edition is confirmed. It is coming, and it is more than just an expansion. It is a fully independent game that can work as a standalone game or as an expansion to the Star Wars deck building game. It can do both. We're going to talk about that in today's video. We're going to look at some of the preview cards that they've shown us for this game. We're going to also talk about some new information that the Fantasy Flight release announcement has given us on how this will play, and some changes that it's making to the game. And you know, we'll take a good look at it. So if you guys are interested in Star Wars games and tabletop gaming, you're in the right place. I talk a lot about those. We're doing a $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos to have a chance to enter to win that. So make sure you enter by just being a subscriber and leave a comment. Let me know what one of your favorite tabletop Star Wars games down in the comments section below. If you're new to board games, card games, deck building games, tabletop gaming in general, deck building games are great introductions. They're usually not too rules heavy, and this particular game is a lot of fun. So it's going to be exciting to get a look at the Clone Wars version of it. Let's go ahead and swap over to the Fantasy Flight article. I'll put a link to this article down in the video description below. While you're there, you can also check out our Discord and other social media links, Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the channel and potentially getting your name in the credits, depending on what level you choose, there's great ways to help out on Patreon there. All right, so a couple of key things about this set. This is going to feature... It's going to feature the Separatists. It's going to feature the Republic. It's going to feature some neutral cards as well. You can see Jar Jar Binks and Jango Fett there. You can use this as a standalone system. This does not require that you have the Star Wars deck building game Galactic Civil War edition, the Luke and Darth Vader version. You don't have to have that. This is all on its own. If this is the only product you have, you are fully capable of being able to play this. Now, this is a two-player game. However, if you do have the Luke versus Vader, the original Star Wars deck building game, what you're able to do is you can combine it with this one. And basically, the way you're going to do that, according to this article, is you're going to have to separate all of your cards. So if you're like me and you have those special sleeves that came with the Star Wars deck building game, you're probably going to have to unsleeve them if you wish to mix and match these games, which is a problem. You're gonna have to get or have the exact same sleeves on both games, which is a little bit of a problem because I kind of like those sleeves, and I'm not a big fan of having to unsleeve a game and then resleeve a game. So that's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Now, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to basically separate everything. Now, in the Clone Wars edition of the Star Wars deck building game, you're going to get 30 Republic cards, 30 Separatist cards, and 30 neutral gray cards. Now, compare that to the original game where you have 30 Empire, 30 Rebellion, and 30 neutral gray cards. However, those are going to be the neutral gray for the Galactic Civil War, and then you're going to have the neutral gray for the Clone Wars. And what you do is you pick whatever one side you want versus whatever other side you want, and then you random for one of the neutral gray card selections, and then you shuffle those together. So you're still going to have 90 cards in the deck. You might be Republic versus Empire, you might be Separatist versus Rebellion, or what have you. You might be Empire versus Rebellion, but with like the Jango Fett with the Clone Wars era neutral cards. So you can kind of come up with any combination you want, but you gotta have to have one from one from the other. You kind of need your good guys, your bad guys, or your blue player, your red player, so to speak, and then also you need one set of gray cards. Now, I'm sure clever folks will come up with some homebrew ways to kind of spice things up a little bit and say, hey, maybe we want twice as many neutral cards. We're going to shuffle the extra 30 in there, or maybe we're going to put everything in there and make a big 4-player game and shuffle them all together. No word on if this is designed for 4-player play. I don't really see why not. I think what you could do quite easily is combine both of these games together, play 4 players, and just have twice as many cards in the space line. Like I don't see why you couldn't just do that. I think that would be pretty cool. It might not be balanced for that because you could end up with, hey, what if we end up with like 8 cards that are all separatists in the line? It really favors one player. That's kind of my issue with the game as a whole. I really would prefer that you just can kind of just draft whatever you want, and if you happen to get more separatist cards, then they play better and they have synergy with each other and all of that. There's another rules change to this, and it has to do with you exiling cards. When you exile a card, normally it would just go out of your hand or discard deck or wherever you played it from, and it would go back to the game box. But now each player will have their own exile pile. It's a very minor change, but it does matter because there's going to be cards that reference your exile pile and your opponent's exile pile, and those are meant to stay separate. We can see we got to look at Obi-Wan Kenobi and General Grievous there. What we're going to do is let's go ahead and we're going to run through some of these cards. We're going to look at the Clone Trooper. These are we're going to look at the basic starter cards. Basic starter cards are going to be basically the same. It's just thematically different. Is what we've already got. There's your Jedi Knight card, which is how you can get your Force or your Flex card, right? We've got our attack with our B1, our Separatist Shuttle, and then our Dark Side Agent, which is our Flex card for the Separatists. We have 8 ATRTs, so there's going to be a lot of trooper synergy that the Republic is going to have. A lot of these, even though the ATRT is considered trooper, which is weird because it is a vehicle. But I guess the important thing here is that the trooper who's riding it counts. Same thing with Barks. Bark is definitely a vehicle, but you got a Bark driver and gunner on there, so and when it's counting as a trooper, that's kind of how they're doing it. The Delta 7 deals with Jedi, so those are going to be I think that's 2 of the themes is you're going to have troopers and then Jedi for the Republic. And there's revealing top cards of your deck. That's going to factor into Obi-Wan when we see him in a second. We've got ALS Secura there working with troopers. Obi-Wan, of course, wants to be revealed so he can say hello there, and then he'll give you some bonuses. B2s deal with exiling. They are droids and troopers. We've got vulture droids, which are droids and fighters. We've got droidicas, also dealing with exiling. Newt Gunray is one of those cards that's going to deal with your pile. He says next time a card leaves the galaxy row, replace it with a non-starter card from your exile pile. It's good if you're forced to exile stuff that maybe you don't want and you want to have a chance for it to go back. General Grievous, when he defeats a target in the galaxy row, you can exile a droid from your hand. If you do, you get that target's reward a second time. Those rewards normally are for bounty hunting. We've got a couple more cards here. Underworld Contacts. And we've got Hondo Anaka. Oh, yeah, my friend. What are you doing? Hondo is coming for you. And he's bringing his pirates, and we're going on an adventure, and we're going to do the rest of the video in Hondo's voice, because that's how we do it, and we're going to be crazy. On to the next card. It is a Jango Fett. You do not want to go cross of him. He's very deadly. Good friend of mine. We go way back, but I would not bother him right now. I hear he lost his head in a dangerous excavation with a Jedi, no doubt, so be very careful. And then we have, his ship. His ship, it's not called the Slave One anymore, it's called Fett's Fire Spray, which everybody's just gonna have to deal with. It's been that way for like a couple of years now, we're just gonna have to get over with. But if you know, you know, it's still the Slave One. And of course, this guy, Jar Jar Binks, is crazy, has no abilities at all. He's actually going to go in your opponent. You're going to play the 2. Oh, it's crazy. Pay 2 resources and gain the Force. Put him somewhere else. And then he does nothing for him. Then he's a dead card. But maybe you exile him. And then everybody's crazy. Or then Bob's your uncle. Okay, well, that's enough of that. I just lost 18 subscribers just from doing that voice. Maybe more. But yeah, so pretty good kind of introduction to the game. It's nice to have the official launch article, and it's cool to see Fantasy Flight Games stuff posted. I love the way they do their announcement articles. You get some card previews, you get some some stuff and some explanations around them, and they're all nice and neatly organized at fantasyflightgames.com. Pretty cool stuff. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll definitely be checking this game out and playing lots of it as it does come out. Does it say? I don't know if it says when this is actually coming out. I'm assuming it's going to be later this year. You can pre-order it through their web store today. So apparently you can pre-order it right now. Well, that's pretty cool. You can be the first of your friends to like this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Is it going to do it? I don't know. I clicked it. It didn't work. All right, that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. Again, you guys are out of this world and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. The spice must flow, and always wash your socks.